Hello, my name is Marvel Jerkinz. You may remember me from Mutual of Enigma's astonishing adventure show. Perhaps you've read of me in a magazine or newspaper article. I bet you're wondering what happened to old Marvel Jerkinz. Did he finally get eaten by a bear? Had he fallen off a cliff? Why haven't we heard from this intrepid explorer? Well, the reason is simple. You see, back in the 80s, our beloved sponsor, Mutual of Enigma, pulled the plug on our show. They said people weren't interested in seeing the odd and the unusual, the exotic, far-off places in the world. So, after failing to secure a sponsorship for our adventures, I decided to open this emporium with my faithful and sometimes helpful cousins, Clappy and Patty. So today, we use the revenue from the emporium to continue our thrilling yet underfunded adventures, mostly on weekends and holidays. This following film documents one of these thrilling yet tightly budgeted adventures. Now, I know it will be hard for some of you to believe, but this story is 100% true, though we changed some facts around to make it more interesting. Now, as with most of my adventures, I prefer to start this one not at the beginning, nor the end, but somewhere in the middle. Enjoy. Chubacabra, a creature so rare and dangerous that no one who had ever seen one had lived to tell about it. The Chuba expedition was launched with the intent of finding one of these creatures alive in the wild, and for 10 long days we had followed the clues and tracked the historical evidence until we ended up here on the city-slicker plains of New Mexico, where the trail went cold. We were tired, frustrated, low on cash, and our feet hurt. Clappy and Patty convinced me that we were out of options, and it was time to go home. Then, suddenly, it hit me. A blast of psychic energy, pulling me asunder with perpendicular gravity, pushing a pin into a mystical map in my mind. I suddenly knew we would find the answer to all of our questions on Canyon Road in Santa Fe. And so we headed out. Low on fuel, we hadn't eaten in hours, and it smelled funny in the van. But a short time later, and running on fumes, we arrived. As Clappy and Patty went off to get a cash advance on their adventure cards, I wandered the streets alone, not knowing why I was there or what to expect. And then, suddenly, there it was. A heroic beacon in a storm of confusion, pointing to a pathway of redemption with the help of my dear old friend the wind. I was suddenly swept into a ballet of metal and magic. I knew what I was witnessing was a message directed solely at me. But what did it mean? What was the wind trying to tell me? I immediately launched an interweb investigation. I tweeted, I Facebooked, I Amazoned, and I eBayed. I Googled and I Yahooed, and suddenly, bing, there it was. The book, I Know Where the Chubacabra Lives, by Wendy O. Windstorm. Suddenly, it all made sense. I soon obtained Wendy's book and found it half-baked, idiotic, disjointed, ludicrous, and downright silly. I knew there was a chance in a million that any of it was true, but that meant there was a chance. The next available weekend, we launched a new expedition to locate Miss Windstorm in Colorado and finally uncover the truth about the mysterious beast known as the Chubacabra. Though the air was calm in the adventure van, there was an underlying excitement that united us all. We were anxious to get back on the Chuba Trail again. If this fantastic creature did exist, we were determined to find it. We limited our stops for potty breaks, adventure photo ops, and roadside attractions, and quickly made it to Ouray, where the author Windio Windstorm had agreed to meet with us.
Oh, the first time I met the Chupacabra, he's living over on 4th Street, and I'm going to drive you by the house here. And he would live there he was the Chupacabra at night, but during the day he was disguised as a rich Texan, kind of fat Texan. There's a lot of fat Texans in Ouray. They come up here and they buy houses and spend the summer. And nobody knew this was really the Chupacabra, but he started coming into the outlaw and drinking mojitos. And he started opening up to me one night. And so I found out that he was really the Chupacabra. So last I heard, they ran the Chupacabra out of town because the locals don't take kindly to Chupacabras. And so I heard that he had been sighted up here in the mountains, and I'm going to take you up there to see where he might be. So when the Chupacabra got kicked out of Ouray, he moved up the valley here into the mountains. And I know that this is the right direction because we know that the Chupacabra loves to make junk art. And this is one of his original junk art pieces. I used to be an art critic, and I know Matisse, I know Rembrandt, and I know this is a Chupacabra.
So this is a
Yeah. It's an amazing piece, isn't it?
Totally confused, yet even more determined to find the truth, there was only one thing to do. We loaded our day packs with power bars and fruity drinks, and boldly headed into the unknown dangers of Chubacabra Valley. We vigilantly searched for clues using our heightened adventure senses while staying constantly aware of the unknown dangers lurking about.
This is an excellent type of habitat for the Chupacabra.
Onward we pressed, utilizing all of our scientific knowledge and skills of observation.
No Chuba here. Let's go.
Chupa poopy. That's poopy.
Smell it. Is it Chuba?
Poopy.
Definitely. We're on the right track.
Continue on then.
We were now hundreds of feet above sea level and relied heavily on our portable oxygen canister to keep our heads about us.
So good.
Then came the greatest tip of all.
What the gollybuck was that?
Was it the call of the Chuba? We could not tell, but whatever made that sound was further up the mountain. And so, up we went, through twisted, prehistoric terrain inhabited by strange creatures forgotten by time, unchanged for thousands of years. We were now almost 3 hours into our journey. I didn't want to alarm the others, but I knew we were nearly out of fruity drinks, and our oxygen canister was over half empty. If we didn't find the Chupacabra soon, the expedition would be in jeopardy. Finally, we came to the end of the trail, at an astonishing geographic landmark I named Chubacabra Falls. I knew the creature was close. Very, very close.
Oxygen. 100%. You know, we would be dead without this stuff.
Then, the unthinkable happened.
Goodness, you brought it.
Without oxygen and only a few snags left, we had little hope for survival in this hostile terrain, and so, sadly, we struck a few poses, took a few adventure pics, and prepared to mosey back down the mountain. When we heard a strange sound, and it was very near.
Prepare the creature capture device.
It really smells.
Careful. It's likely to be very frightened by us. Prepare the net.
Now that was the one and only time that a human being has come face to face with the deadly and mysterious Chubacabra and has lived to tell about it. Now there are those of you who would say this is entirely fiction, that these are just the ramblings of some old Jerkinz who's been on the adventure trail too long. And to you, I would offer you this undeniable proof. I give you Cousin Patty's photograph, slightly out of focus, taken of the creature a split second before we ran down the mountain, screaming in terror. So now if you'd like to see this photograph, incredible it is, as well as other artifacts, treasures of curiosity from any of my exciting adventures, come see us at Marvel Jerkinz Corner Emporium, where you'll always find the odd and the unusual.
And right now, you can get 25% off of Chubacabra t-shirts and underwear.
And Marvel Jerkinz pith helmets and adventure backpacks are also on sale.
And so, my friends, I say unto you, wherever you go in this marvelous world, make it an astonishing adventure. Or don't go at all. I'm Marvel Jerkinz. I'll see you at the Corner Emporium.